thank you for tuning in to another Bali Villa tutorial series. In this episode, I want to turn the villa from a more modern look to a traditional style. So I'm going to be doing an extreme change using a very simple method. And for those of you that have not been following the series, please subscribe and check out the playlist. I've been making a Bali villa from scratch in the 1 inch equals a foot scale. So if you're curious to see this extreme change, please continue watching. So let's get started. I'm taking this bamboo mat and going to transform the villa from this to this. And I know it's a big change, but this is a more traditional style. And in Bali, one of the main ingredients is wood, specifically bamboo. So this is convenient since I have plenty of it. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So these strips are going to be measured, cut, and applied to the wall to make for this drastic change. So I'm going to show you how that's done. First, we're going to take our bamboo mat, and I prefer to use the Rotary with the rolling mechanism that the Rotary cutter has. I can apply the amount of pressure that I want, and in this case I'm applying very little pressure, as all I'm doing is just cutting the string in certain sections. And you can cut it from the end or from the middle, whichever way, and you can just start pulling the strips right out of the mat. This is super therapeutic, relaxing, and it's a lot of fun. I always leave the last piece of wood still attached to the string, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. So these strips, there's my daughter, she is the cutter, and you don't really need the bench saw to cut these, but we like to cut it because of the precise cut that it gives. But it's so easy to cut. You can use an Exacto blade or whatever you usually use to cut thin strips of wood. So here I am sorting the strips by color, and I'm sorry that the computer's like super shaky. There are times where I use the camera and times when I use the cell phone. So not sure. I think this is a time that I was using the cell phone. So my apologies. But here you see that the strings from the bamboo mat, I just tie them up onto the batches, and here I have them sorted by color, so it's easy for me to remove strips as I need them and keep them organized. So I just do that. And now we can start applying these strips to the wall. So as you can see, it's a little beat up, and it's because I was opening up I was evening out the opening there in the dining room. I got my wood glue, applied it with a brush onto the wall, and now I'm applying my pre-cut bamboo strips. Some strips have to be cut a little thinner, and with the easy cutter I just cut them right up. It's super easy, and depending on the section that you're doing, just want to make sure that all the pieces are nice and level. So I'm making a lot of changes here in the kitchen area because I want the openings to be even, and you know, as you're applying these pieces, you start to see where all of the uneven areas are, and so I just wanted to patch those up. Another change that I'm making is I don't think that this door opening in the kitchen is necessary. As a matter of fact, I think it is an obstacle because I don't have that much room in the kitchen, and I want to find a good place to put the refrigerator. So I'm gonna take this piece of walnut. It's a nice sturdy piece, and I'm going to go ahead. I put some glue all around the walnut, and it's the size of the doorway, and I patched it in, and making sure it's secure. I put a little tape on the other side, and I'm going to continue applying the bamboo strips onto that walnut as well, as I want to close that whole area off. I felt like the doorway was not allowing me to freely plan the space for the kitchen. So I also lost some footage of applying the backsplash that you see here. So here is the look so far, and there is the backsplash for the kitchen. It's gonna go right above the sink, and it's just Mosaic tiles that I bought at a really cool art store in the city. So I am gonna start applying the baseboard using a thin plywood. And as I'm applying the baseboard, I'm noticing that the kitchen tiles are also not level, but I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to change the tiles. I do like the personality that they're giving. It feels like a cobblestone street, and I know it shouldn't feel like a street inside, but it does have a lot of personality, so we'll see. None of the furniture and appliances will be glued down to the floor. So if I feel that after all is said and done, the kitchen tiles still need to be revamped or redone, then I'll do so. But I'm going to wait until the very end to make that change. For now, I'll take the personality that it's giving. So, as I said, the baseboard is made of thin plywood, and I put those two pieces, one that's square and one that's flat, just to create a nice dimension. And as you can see, those gaps underneath the baseboard, I'm not going to be leaving it like that, because I feel that with a little bit of spackle I know I love spackle. With a bit of spackle, I think it'll be just fine. So I took one of the scraps from the kitchen tiles that I made before, and I'm filling in a gap that I thought was just too big under the baseboard. And now I'm going to fill all of that in with, you guessed it, spackle. And now keep in mind, I'm only using spackle because that's what I used to apply these tiles. Had I been working in an area where it was wood and I had been working with wood and glue, I would fill in gaps with wood fill. So in this case, it's totally cool to just apply the spackle right under the wood and fill it all in. So that's how it's turning out. I do feel like it's a big change. It's very true to the traditional Bali villa style, which is 95% wood. And there you have it. I feel really, really good about it. So please continue to follow the Bali Villa tutorial series. And I promise the villa will be done before the year is up. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.